What's going on, everyone? Meteorologist Jonathan Kagas back with you. Hope everybody is having a great Tuesday evening. It's a little chilly outside. We had those clouds, as expected, kind of locked in this morning. A little bit of drizzle, mist in those clouds. We were talking about yesterday about this time and during the 11 o'clock show. That is all out of here, but some of that cooler, drier air is going to be spilling back in. So through the course of this show, we're going to go a little bit beyond the 7-day forecast. There's certainly some interesting things to talk about going forward. So we are going to jump right into it. If you are tuning in on YouTube, post in the comments where you're tuning in from. If you're tuning in from Facebook, would love if you do the same. Any questions, of course, post those in the comment sections. We have the ability to bring those over so we can make this interactive. That is my hope here with our 10 o'clock weathercast, to go talk about all things weather, break it all down, to go really in depth, to go hyper local across Central Florida, and just kind of hang out and chill, talk about the weather, and give you what you need to know over the next 7 days, and in some cases beyond. There's a little something crazy out there beyond the next 7 days that we will get into. It's making rounds on the internet and all of that stuff. So first and foremost, welcome tonight. Second night now, we are doing our 10 o'clock weathercast and hope to continue this. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find this helpful. My goal is to try to give you the weather an hour earlier. We're, of course, streaming this on News 6 Plus as well. If you don't have News 6 Plus, you should. It is a free download. It is all you need to do is search WKMG News 6 on any smart platform, whether it's your smart TV, whether it's your Apple TV, Roku, all that stuff. And you can hang out in bed and turn on the weather. And we're going to have a conversation here going forward. Okay, so the things that we're going to be tracking over the next 20 to 30 minutes. I know that it says 3 minutes. I forgot to change the timeline there. That was from the 6 o'clock news, where we only have about 2 to 3 minutes to chat and give you the weather. That's why we're allowed to go so much extra in depth here. And we're going to be watching some patchy frost tonight. Lake Toho, that's a live look here from our Weather STEM network of cameras. The ability to bring in a bunch of cameras from Central Florida, brought to you by Weather STEM. That is going to be Lake Toho above my head. And then we have Lake Weir, or Marineland, excuse me. Lake Weir is coming up in just 1 second. That is Marineland in the bottom, and that's going to give us a better opportunity for some of that patchy frost going forward. It's going to be chilly for the rest of the week. I know a lot of people do not like this stuff in Florida, and unfortunately, we have much more to come over the next couple days. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale. A little bit warmer than Central Florida. Thanks for tuning in. We're watching some of the colder air spill down the peninsula as we speak. The good news is, throughout the entire state of Florida, Patricia, you don't have to be on here. That is the beauty of this. So if it's too much talking, sorry, we're hanging out, we're having a conversation. That's what this is for. So thanks. Really, really warm for the weekend, though. It's going to warm up back to the mid to upper 70s as we get into Saturday and Sunday. So we are going to break that down as well. First things first, though, tonight, that frost starts to work its way back in. It's not everywhere. It's going to be for a select few people northwest of I-4, especially in Flagler County, Marion County, parts of Sumter County, northern Lake County as well. That's where we have the best opportunity for a little bit of patchy frost. So not as widespread tomorrow morning as some of the rounds of cold we've seen in the past. But I think that's going to expand over the next couple of days. And again, we'll take a look at that forecast coming up in just 1 second. As we look at the current temperatures, 40s across North Florida. We're in the 50s in Orlando, mid-50s in Tampa. It's in the mid-60s in Miami right now. You see the jagged alligator tooth there at the bottom of your screen. That is our cold front, that big blue thing at the bottom of your screen. That went through yesterday. It's certainly much, much cooler right now than it was last night at this time. Now that's pushing toward the Bahamas. Look at the chill just towards our north. Atlanta, 39 right now. We're at 34 degrees in Nashville, 35 in Little Rock. And again, that's some of the cooler air that is spilling right down the Florida Peninsula and what we're going to wake up to tomorrow. A little bit of an extra look, a closer look here in Ocala. We're already in the mid 40s. We're at 44 in Denellen, 44 also in Palm Coast. We're at 47 in Daytona Beach. Holopah, we're still holding tight in the low 50s. Melbourne, we are at 53. Miko checking in at 56 degrees. So still kind of all over the place a little bit. But it's pretty nice outside. You might want the light jacket. Got distracted there. Look at the Lake Toho shot. That is going to be the moon right there. You see that going through. It looked like it froze a little bit. We have a couple of stars in the Lake WKMG that I'm going to show you in just a little bit. But really, really cool. If you haven't been outside, it is super bright outside. We're going to take a live look now in Oak Hill. It is cold for us. We are already flirting with the 40s tonight in Volusia County. Again, a live look with our WeatherStem network of cameras. This is at Volusia Fire Station 22, where the camera is situated, if you're familiar with that area. We are at 51.5 degrees. Again, we can get real pinpointy here. 51.5 degrees. The breeze is very light tonight out of the north at about 3 miles an hour. So a light wind tonight that will help some of the frost get going across parts of Central Florida, especially into that frost zone again northwest of I-4. Few passing clouds out there. These are those high wispy clouds. You can see that in the camera, again, right below my head or right below my body there, the bottom screen of the Brady Bunch box. You can see some of those clouds passing right on through, those mid-level clouds. Those are some altocumulus clouds pushing through. Same deal, the Lake WKMG. I keep on talking about that. You'll see that as we get ready to head to break in a few minutes. But there are those passing clouds moving through about Gainesville, Palm Coast, Ocala. Those are going to try to really push in an increase again through the day tomorrow. But nonetheless, they pose really no threat to rain early on. So there we go. Overnight, here's 5 o'clock in the morning in future radar. And you see those clouds trying to advance as we go into the second part of the afternoon. Here's lunchtime, still looking at mostly sunny skies. And then you see a couple of showers try to pop up in the future clouds and rain. There is a super, super slight chance for a few showers tomorrow. Still, though, most of us are going to be dry, and if anything does develop, it's going to be few and far between. The air is now going to be so dry near the surface, and that is going to allow us to really, anything that falls, most of it that falls anyway, just going to evaporate before it really gets to the ground. So for that, here's a look as we move forward into Thursday morning, still under overcast skies. I think we really bring the clouds back as we move to Thursday and part of Friday before we get into a much better looking weekend ahead. As far as tomorrow morning goes, when you wake up, we're talking upper 30s in Ocala. We're at 37 degrees in Denellen. We're at 42 in Wildwood, 42 also in Palm Coast. 54 tomorrow morning in Melbourne. Holopah, we're checking in at 45 degrees. So again, a cold morning. You'll want the jacket. The kids at the bus stop tomorrow going to want the jacket as well. It's going to be a decent afternoon. We're still on the cooler side. High temperatures running about 10 degrees, give or take, below where we should be for this time of the year. Average highs are at 72. There's low to mid 60s. We're at 67 tomorrow in Holopah, Kissimmee, and a St. Cloud celebration. We're also in the mid 60s tomorrow. I want to show you the 7-day forecast first, and then we're going to take a short break, and we're going to look at the weather that's coming later on in this period towards the end of the 7-day forecast. And then beyond, there's an interesting weather feature here that could bring frozen precipitation, ice, sleet, maybe some light snow to the parts of Florida, mainly the Panhandle. It's mainly the Deep South, but a little bit of that junk can sneak into the Panhandle. Again, we'll take a look at that in just 1 second. But for the next 3 days, we're back to the low 60s on Wednesday, 61 degrees on Thursday, 66 on Friday. So a teeny tiny warming trend to close out the work week, but you see how chilly the temperatures are are starting tomorrow morning with 30s and 40s around. Same deal on Thursday, same deal on Friday. And then watch what happens as we get into the weekend. Mid to upper 70s come back. We'll take a look at the system responsible for that in just a second on the other side of our 2-minute break. Rain chances on Saturday at about 30%. That's late in the day across Central Florida. And then once we get into Sunday, that's when they increase a little bit more, especially for the first half of the day. It is still going to be really warm, though, especially relatively speaking, but that'll put us above average, mid to upper 70s on Sunday. And then Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, rain chances continue to clip at about 30%. We're back to the mid-60s on Monday, 67 on Tuesday. It's looked for a long time that the coldest air of the season was going to try to blast in as we got beyond Sunday. I'm not sure if that's the case anymore, and the reason is because as that cold air tries to come down, there's going to be a much bigger system trying to develop, and that's going to help to push some warm air back up the Florida Peninsula. We are going to take a look at that coming up in about 2 minutes. We're going to step away for a very short break, and then we're going to have that system that brings the rain chances over the weekend. And then we're going to take a look at that bigger system coming around that Tuesday, Wednesday period where you see those rain chances start to go back up again. So we'll see you guys in just about 2 minutes. All right, so again, if you are just
All right, so again, if you are just All right, so again, if you are just All right, so again, if you are just All right, so again, if you are just All right, so again, if you are just All right, so again, if you are just All right, so again, if you are just All right, so again